Hello, you guys. How is everyone? Oh my God, thank you guys for being here. I love this. Thank you. Hold on. I have got technical difficulties because, at Decipher podcast, that's what we start off with. We always start off with technical difficulties. How are you guys? Thank you guys for being here. Look at this. This is so amazing. This is Megan VR. Thank you, love, for being here. Thumb Thug. Brittany. Parker. Thank you. So I have a little message for Parker. Danielle Marie. Hi. LFT.
Oh, I've been talking. Sorry, I was muted.
I know you weren't. Amber. Oh my God. Oh, you like the intro? Carrie. I think we need a new intro. I feel like I'm done. Oh, I found my people. I love this intro. Pamela, welcome. Thank you. Yeah. The intro is, it's not for everyone, but I wanted something a little badass before we started, kind of get people rolling, if you will. Tira!
I was about to say that. I would think that intro may scare Tira and Nicole.
Yeah, we don't.
To the other side of the street.
Tira, who's a badass, by the way, we can only have her in here for a short period of time before I do my Tira warning and tell her to go find something else to do. And we will come back and play with her later. So I just want to start off by saying thank you for being here.
Hey, Molly Lollipops.
Molly Lollipops. Amber B. Couple things I just want to do housekeeping before we get started, if you will. So we're going to work on obviously Adam Walsh. You can do milk cartons though. I don't know. This is a rough one, Tira. We're going deep on this one. I'm not gonna lie. In about 5 minutes, I'm gonna give you a warning, and you get to decide whether you stay or not. But I will give you that Tira warning. Tier warning is basically like for those who really don't want to do the children kind of nasty kind of thing. We are fact-driven researchers, investigators, however we want to call it, and we deliver just as we find it. So I'm not going to say anything yet, Tira. But when I start, I'm going to give you my warning, and we will catch you later. Okay, so first and foremost, we're working on Adam Walsh. Here's the thing. A lot of people are working on Adam Walsh. A lot of people worked on Christopher Watts. A lot of people worked on Summer Wells. So I know that Positively Parker, who we all love, and if we can drop her, if we can drop her.
I'm going to try it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, see. Thanks, Nicole. I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you for coming in. Live chat reminder, yes. Parker's also working on this. There's a lot of people that are working on this.
BitchBot worked.
Did BitchBot work?
BitchBot worked.
Okay. All right, bitch bot. All right. You're off to a good start. Don't make me start with you. Um, Parker's also working on this case. There's a couple other people, and we're also working with Brittany, allegedly with Brittany and her channel, Hooligan Jen, Hooli, as she's known around these pats. Um, we do things a little bit differently, and we welcome everyone working on this case. This is not our case. This is not Adam Walsh doesn't belong to anyone but the Walsh family. We're just here to show you what we have found. And we welcome as many creators who want to work on this as possible. A lot of people get a little sideways and they they think they're the only person working on the case. I know Criminality was going to look at this. I know Parker. And Parker, by the way, I do want to thank you because your comment just reminded me you're letting us work on it first. That was really cool, by the way. Thank you for doing that. That was, hey, Princess. Thanks for being here. I know who that is. Thanks for, you're going to steal my material. That's amazing. Well, you know how we are. We will share our material with you. So any research we have, you know that we'll share it because it's all coming from the same spot. We just look at things differently. And we want as much success for Parker and everyone, for Brittany, for anyone here who works true crime and has a channel. We want success for all. So there's a million cases that do need coverage. You're absolutely right. This one fascinated me because milk carton kids, I mean, that's a deep dive. And we're going to connect a lot of kids through the milk carton kids. Johnny Gosh, Eugene Martin, Adam Walsh. Hi, Lynn.
Lynn.
Hi. A lot of kids that you guys remember seeing on the milk cartons years and years ago prior to there being the internet, if you will. That's how they got, between posters and milk cartons, that's how they got kids' names across the country, which was kind of ingenious if you think about it. But back to that, there's a lot of people that are going to be covering this. We welcome you. We want to help you, and we look forward to supporting you. I also want to say thank you to Parker for allowing us to go first. That was really super kind. So we're going to be there to support you as well. Second thing that I want to mention is I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and Miss Brittany can correct me if I'm wrong, the party will continue after we go live here. I think Brittany's going to do an after party over there. And she and Hooligan Jen are going to do a live, I think. I know the case is as old as, isn't that weird? It is a long time. That's a long time. And when you hear some of the details, which I'm not going to tell you, Tira, but I'll tell other people. It's weird.
We need a bitch bot that just says earmuffs.
Earmuffs. Now, I'm going to do a tier warning. I forgot to add it to BitchBot, but I need to do a tier warning. Hey, Broken Justice. And how we work here, just in case, if you have a channel and you'd like your channel dropped, you are more than welcome to just say, drop my channel, and one of our lovely mods will do that. If we don't have you on the list, we will add you. But Wolfie, hey, thanks for coming in. Yes, LFT, please stop. I need you tonight. I need you.
I moved. Like the stuff.
Did
in
you
a
move
very
everything
small
over?
chair with the laptop.
I think she might be. Yeah, I think she might be plugged in actually to the wall.
I'm literally. If y'all could see me, I am moved over, sitting right at the router. with the
She's sitting on
laptop
top of the
literally
router.
on my lap and everything else on the arms of a chair. So no one move.
Yeah, nobody
And
moved, nobody
hopefully,
gets hurt, right?
and the phone I just moved to the couch.
All right. Well, we do drop links in here, and I have no problem. Everyone's welcome. If you're going to be a douche canoe, you will be
Paddle your
exited.
way right out.
There is no like mods. Don't even time them. Just kick them. I'm in a mood, and I don't have a long list of blocked people, but we're here to promote each other. And we're here to talk about Adam Walsh. We are not here to put up with bullshit.
Hey, TCA.
Hey, TCA, thanks for coming in. So just note that's how I roll here. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do?
Not a clue.
Hold on. I what am I gonna do? Not a clue. Watch this. Boom. Done.
I have no idea what you just did.
You're about to find out if she types again. She's gonna be surprised. Hopefully she'll type and then be very happy. Because we need her help too. So throughout this, we are probably going to be modding people as need be. So I had to unmod everyone and start over. Because I'm gonna die. Oh, all right, Tira. Yeah. Tira. Whoops.
Hey, say Robbie. Look, I see it. I see what happened. I like it.
Oh, and my boyfriend here. You get a wrench. Robbie, collecting.
All right, Oprah, settle down.
I know. Well, okay, but Robbie is different from everyone else. I'm
I know.
sorry. I love my Robbie.
I just
You
really
guys,
wanted to say
hold
that.
on. Let's do this. Let's drop Robbie. See if that worked. Did that work? Did Robbie work?
I didn't.
Okay, Oprah. Yeah, there it is. Okay. You get a wrench. You get a wrench. I am a wench. That's my favorite. Gladys. Thanks for coming in. Robbie, thank you for coming in. I really do appreciate it. I know I just texted you and told you I was going live, but I do appreciate you popping in. And guys, go check out Robbie. His channel. He is doing the coolest stuff over there. He just got engaged. Michael is a sexy bitch. And if Robbie doesn't watch it, I'm going to try and steal him. They went bungee jumping. They did a mud run. They did all this really cool stuff. And please go over and check his stuff. He's amazing. And he has been a huge support for us. So we're really lucky to have him here. Thank you. All right. So shall we get into it? Boys and girls, are you ready? Tier warning. Tier warning.
You can do it, Tara. You can do it.
Should we do this?
Throw a bra on and deal with it. You can do it.
Let's see. Okay. So Adam Walsh. Does everybody remember little Adam Walsh? He's a little kid up here in the corner, cutie patootie. Oh, hey, Aussie. Oh my God, my girl. Aussie. Okay. Now, Adam Walsh. Everybody remembers the little boy, Adam Walsh. And if you'll forgive me, you guys, I am so sorry. I'm not looking at chat at the moment, but I will sporadically. ADD prevents me from concentrating on a case and reading chat. I cannot walk and chew gum. So please forgive me. I think what we're going to try and do is alternate. She's going to read chat. I'm going to read chat. And then we're going to try and catch up. So please, this is a conversation, not a dialogue. Ask questions, jump in. We want to answer anything and everything that we can. This is just an introduction. This is not we are not presenting the case. The mud run was so fun and had a great workout. 3 miles, huge walls to climb, and a 4-foot. Oh my gosh. Way to go, Robbie.
Wow, way to put my Sunday to shame.
I know.
I feel like such a failure.
Oh, I love him. So Adam Walsh. Adam was a 6-year-old boy. He was born November 14th, 1974. His two parents, John and Reve. And you are going to hear paper shuffling, and I wish I could show you, but I am a hot mess. I have papers everywhere. I have like 17 timelines. I have notes for notes on top of notes. So if you'll just work with me, we will get through all of this together. with the help of my true crime partner here, my partner in true crime, we will get through all of this. So Adam was born to John and Reve. He was the only child when he was kidnapped, when he was abducted from a mall in Hollywood, Florida. I did this whole thing. I just wrote all this out in really good handwriting, and I lost it all. Actually, pause. I'm going to ask you guys 7 questions first. I want you to keep them in mind. Right, LFT? Aren't we doing that first?
Wait, I thought we were yeah.
Huh?
I thought we were going to get Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ask you 7 questions first. And then as we go in, I know I am a hot mess. I am really a hot mess. Question number 1, and this is really important. Could Adam Walsh still be alive? Question number 2, why did they close this case with inconsistent or missing evidence? How? I don't understand that. Question number 3, is Otis Toole the real killer? Question number 4, and this one is actually my favorite and where we're really going with this. We don't do conspiracies. We go on facts. Remember that. Okay? We're fact-based, fact-driven. And number 4 question, did Jeffrey Dahmer kill Adam Walsh? How does this connect to Johnny Gosch? Does it connect to Johnny Gosch? What are the similarities? And to this day, Adam's murder still goes without a quote unquote murderer. No one has ever been officially charged. Why? Why? I know. This kid disappeared in 1981, and you're going to tell me we don't have an actual person? We have a person of interest. We have a father of a serial killer who believes his son, Jeffrey Dahmer, is actually the killer. That's where we're starting with this. That is where we're starting with this.
Put a 1 in chat. Put a 1 in chat if you think there's a chance that Adam Walsh is alive.
Excellent question. Yeah. Do you think he's alive or no? Do you think not? Because we're going to present some things here to you as questions and facts, frankly, that I need help with. 111.
Britt's answering for everybody, apparently.
Allie, thanks for coming in. I didn't even see that you were in here. I love you. John Walsh is running his own Epstein Island in the Bahamas at one point, I think. Actually, that's interesting because we actually connected Mr. Walsh and Mr. Epstein. What? Oh, we connected Adam Walsh with Johnny Gosch. If you don't know who Johnny Gosch is, Johnny Gosch was the first kid that was on a milk carton. And he's still alive. What? I know. That's my Lana. That's my Lana. What? Sorry. when she says that, it just makes me giggle. All right, so Adam was born in 1974 to his parents, John and Reve. Everyone knows John Walsh. He's the guy who started America's Most Wanted, In Pursuit with John Walsh, with his son Callahan. Also, he and his wife are the founders of the Adam Walsh Foundation, which is now called the, what is it?
The National.
The National. Say it. I'm sorry.
Oh wait, I just had a. Why did you?
The National Foundation of Missing and Exploited Children.
Children. Okay? Thank you. I was about to say the missing children.
Yeah. So it used to be the Adam Walsh Foundation, but Noreen Gosh and the Walsh family did have. I know, Tira. I know. It's weird. Yes. John Walsh was the host of America's Most Wanted. His son is now, I think Callahan took over In Pursuit with John Walsh. I don't know if they're both still on there or not. I don't watch either show. Holy, where you been? Jeez Louise. I'm so happy you're here. So we're going to just run through a timeline kind of briefly and introduce you to some things, and then we're going to open it for questions and such. This is really just an introduction. We're skimming because I don't want to give too much information, because I want you guys to stick around and really research this with us. I think what we're going to do is research together a lot of times. We love to do that. We'll do a live research session with you. So on July 27th, Adam went missing. That's the first thing. But let's run through the timeline, shall we? That morning, Adam's mom, Reve, woke up at 8 o'clock. Now, this is her account. This is also inconsistent. Everything that we're going to give you today is fact, was either her account, his account, from the police report. And it's very, very inconsistent and crazy. Didn't John Walsh make a list of predators Didn't John Walsh make a list of predators? I posted a Doja Cat. Oh, I love Doja Cat, but it's, hi, Sarah N. Welcome in. So she woke up at 8. She woke up Adam at 8:30. John Walsh left for work at 9. And they had a guy, James Campbell. They called him Campbell. Some people called him Jimmy. Who lived with them for about 4 years. And he was, I don't know, he was 25 years old. He was the nanny. He was kind of like the guy who helped raise Adam, but also had a little thingy with Reve. Actually, here's what I'll say about John Walsh, Megan. He absolutely positively is a heartbroken dad who lost his son. He is trying to help families. Yes. But he has some things we're going to discuss. He's also not the greatest dude in the world. How about that? He's just not the greatest dude in the world. He's a dick. Is what he is. I'm sorry. So anyway, Campbell comes. He moved out 2 weeks prior to the 27th, right? He was living with the family for 4 years. I don't know who wrote it in there, but Reve's little boy toy, yes.
I think they've been an item for. He'd been living there for 4 years. They'd been an item for about 3 years, and then John kind of got sick of it, and 2 weeks before Adam went missing, he moved out.
Yeah, John also a little bit of a player. So let's not make her the bad guy here yet.
Tira.
I know Tira. I love Tira.
Grab a tree.
So Campbell had moved out, but showed up at the house after John left at 9:30, stayed and ate breakfast with Reve and Adam. And then he left about an hour later. Inconsistencies. One says an hour, one says a half an hour. We have, just so you know, our sources are the Adam Walsh file. We have books we're reading. We have articles we've put together. What else do we have? Oh my God, I don't even know. I would like to say we have an autopsy, but you know what? No one does.
Hey, you're stepping on my notes.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
Retract.
No, everything we have is an official document in terms of the Walsh case, Adam Walsh case itself, or credible, news articles, as well as other outside investigative reports and investigators.
Also, the Walsh's
actually ended up turning their investigation into a book and putting things out. But everything we've read, when I say these people like CYA'd, like I couldn't believe. I mean, they had proof. They crossed every T and dotted every I as they investigated, from what we've been able to tell so far. And much of what we've read has also pretty much coincided or complement stuff that's even in the official reports, if I'm remembering correctly.
That is, yes. So back to the timeline. Campbell shows up 9:30, stays for breakfast with Reve and Adam. And then he goes off to work as a pool boy. Okay.
Because he'd been working at the hotel as a cabana boy-ish, basically, at the hotel where John worked.
Yeah.
Which is how they all met and became acquainted. And he felt
Jimmy was trying to help him out, honestly. I think is what it
kind of down on his luck and trying to give him a job and get him going. And that's how I believe that's just kind of how it all originated, their whole relationship.
I think you're right. So he leaves, Reve gets ready, takes Adam, they leave about 11 o'clock ish. Does that sound right? Or are we not going to talk times because we don't really have that solid? How do you want to do that? Tell me.
What did we say when we were talking earlier?
I can't remember. I have here is,
let's just put it this way. They gave a general timeline, and y'all know us with timelines. So we're spitting out a general one right now, but we will also be piggybacking this live with more details in the ones to come. So the timeline will be certainly fleshed out TIA and LFT style.
Yeah. I love the way you said that. I really do.
Oh crap! Is it my sound? Is it?
I don't know. Hooligan, you're freaking me out. Can you guys hear us okay, or do we need to do things to make things work? It's you, Hooligan Jen. Okay, thanks, Lynn.
I was like,
sorry, Jen.
I can't be attached to anything else.
We have her wired. So they left the house, say 10:30, 11ish. I don't know. Who knows? We don't really know. We're going to come up with that. We have several timelines, and I need to make them. Make sense. Right now, I'm looking at Reve's, so we'll get back to you, and we'll look at the actual police one too. They went to work where he remained. She went to drop off a $90 check, which John had made out already, to Adam's school, which was St. Mark's Lutheran School, about 5 minutes away. No big deal. She claimed in the police report that he was definitely in the church office, in the school office, and no one saw him. He's so little, 6 years old. No one saw him there. But maybe he was in the car. Okay. So after that, they took a 5 to 7 minute ride off to the Hollywood Fashion Center, as they called it in the 80s, Hollywood Mall. And they went to Sears. She had seen a lamp in, I think, Good Housekeeping or something. I don't know. She really wanted the lamp. She went to Sears. And I want to read this statement to you because I think this is kind of, it struck me. I think this is it right here. Hang on. Okay. Give me 1 second. Lamp department. That's the one I'm looking for. Okay. So I'm going to read you this. As they go into Sears, right? While under hypnosis on July 31st, Rive said she parked her gray checker vehicle on the north side of Sears. She and Adam entered the store. Adam stayed in the toy department and she went to the lamp department, informing Adam that she would return in 10 minutes. 6-year-old boy. I'm probably going to repeat that. Mrs. Walsh said she had, this one killed me. And I just, like, I want to lose my mind here. But this is why I'm a helicopter mom right here. This is it.
Hey, Lori.
Mrs. Walsh said she had left Adam in the toy department on previous occasions and he would never leave the store to look for her. And he was familiar with the store, having been there in excess of 100 times. What? Johnny, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you. Lori. Yeah.
And Without Borders.
Without Borders? Did we drop her link? We gotta drop links.
I don't know. I'm not supposed to be playing on my phone.
Play on your phone now.
Already did when you weren't looking.
All right, good. Yeah. Would you leave? Right. You wouldn't leave Bentley for 3 minutes. For 10 minutes, she left Adam in the toy department. On previous occasions, he would never leave the store to look for her and was familiar with the store, having been there 100 times. After making the inquiry, she returned to the toy department after 10 minutes and could not locate her son. Now, that sends shivers down my spine. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't let my kids onto my site. And my kids are older. So, it just makes me crazy. He was unfamiliar with the entrance to the mall right. You're going to pull these inconsistencies out right away, Parker. I'm telling you. So she goes to the lamp department. They don't have the lamp. The person has to go to the back. She gives them her name and number. We're chatting, blah, blah, blah. Your 6-year-old son is God knows where. Now, in reality, Montana. Oh, all right.
Okay.
You are welcome here, Montana. Mm-hmm. You are welcome here. Thank you for coming in. You are welcome here. You're yelling at the phone. I know. Yeah. So 10 minutes leaves her 6-year-old son alone. He's playing video games. The new Atari game had just come out. And we have pictures of all this stuff. We're going to put the pictures up, but I kind of want to lay it out because of my ADD. I kind of want to lay out the story and then we can go through and show you all the pictures. But he was left there to play games. Now, period, end of story, right? Well, we're glad that you're here, Montana. Thank you very much. I really, really do appreciate you being here. Option 1 is that Otis Toole took Adam. Okay. And what had happened is the kids that were playing the game, the new Atari game, a couple of the boys were a little bit older, 14, 11, 12. There's different ages in there. They got into a fight. They all wanted to play the game, boys could be. And Adam, being the littlest one, kind of, I think, got shoved to the side, whatever. There was a little bit of a scuffle there. And the 17-year-old security guard for Sears kicked all the boys out. Adam followed the boys outside, or the boy, whatever. It could be boys, could be boy. Followed outside. So he's now outside the mall while his mom in the lamp department is nowhere near him. Hey Ginger, thanks for coming in. Dahmer is an MK Ultra member who was, oh God,
Oh my gosh,
Montana, kind of turning me on right now.
oh my
Stick
God,
around.
don't say that out
like
loud.
you.
Don't say
We
we're gonna
like-
get.
I know. Sorry. All right. So option one is Otis Toole took this kid, right? And he's outside. It makes it really easy. You see a little 6-year-old boy and you're a creeper, you're going to grab him and go, right? So let's just talk about Otis Toole for 1 second. Let me give you the background on this amazing human. Otis Toole, born March 5th, 1947, had an IQ of 75, right? He died in Florida State Prison in 1996. He was born. Now I want you to hear his background, because I think this gives a lot of insight to who he was. And then we're going to talk about, is a Toole is right. And then we're going to talk about Dahmer. But Otis Toole, okay, born to an extreme Christian mother and a father who would make him perform certain acts on his father's male friends. His father left when he was young. But while Otis's grandmother was also a member of the occult and would have Otis rob grave sites for quote unquote parts. I'm going to try and be careful what I say here. To use for rituals. Otis's sister used to dress him in women's clothing and parade him around.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Sorry.
Being the brainchild that he was and the background that he had, he dropped out of school in the 9th grade and started meeting men at homosexual bars for money. He knew he was gay at 10, which, I mean, what an awareness to have at 10 years old, bless him. And at 14, here's where it gets fun. Here's where it gets fun, you guys. At 14, he met a local businessman, a local salesman, who asked him to perform some, acts. And he ran over him with his own car before drifting around the country and meeting up with Henry Lee Lucas. You got that, right? Yeah. So he's basically a child prostitute. Meets a guy who wants him to do some things. He runs over the guy in his own car. That's what we know as far as injuring a human the first time. There's probably many more before we got there. Okay. So anyway, he dropped out of school. So he meets Henry Lee Lucas. And they become lovers and began a murder spree together. They claim to have killed hundreds of people together. Like, they've claimed to kill over 600 people, which they didn't, just saying. But what they were known for, and I'm going to be real careful here, so pay attention. They essayed, killed, and dined on people throughout the 70s and were known as the confession killers. If somebody died, these two were up there going, it was me, I did it. But they didn't. They really didn't do it. Toole claimed he was the abductor of Adam Walsh in October of 1983 and can be heard confessing on Netflix confession tapes. So if you guys want to actually hear him, oh, Tira. 2 weeks after the abduction, here's where it gets a little Tira warning. Whoop, whoop. 2 weeks after the abduction of Adam, a decapitated head was found of a child in the Indian River floating by 2 fishermen. Okay. And this is where we're going to go down some different. You don't believe it's true about you don't believe it's true about Jeffrey Dahmer? Okay, stick around. I got some facts. Welcome in. I'm so glad you're here. Because I love when people are like, you know what? I don't believe that. Because sometimes, I'm not sure I believe it either. But here's the weird thing. Everyone's like, Jeffrey Dahmer, A, he wasn't a pedophile. B, yeah, he was. Total pedophile.
He also got dressed up as a girl when he was younger.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that interesting?
I'm not saying that makes you anything. I'm just saying that couldn't have been easy.
Oh, well, Montana, if you ever decide, you're welcome. We would love to hear from you. We would love to hear from you.
Sorry.
That's okay. Are you okay? Oh boy. All right. We'll pause. Mute. We'll be right back. So Otis and his lover man both claim that they had abducted and done terrible things to Adam Walsh. Here's the thing. Henry was in jail in Maryland during the time where Adam was abducted. So clearly he was not there.
Wait, say that again. What did you just say?
I just said that Henry Lee Lucas
sorry.
Was in a jail in Maryland while Adam was abducted and couldn't possibly have been there in Florida when Adam was abducted.
Mm-hmm.
So no, he didn't think that part through at all.
Not, Parker.
He did not think that part through. But you know what? Here's what's interesting is there's a lot of that. Now, here's the gross thing about Otis. As if he's not gross enough. Here's the gross thing. This man tortured the Walsh family for years prior to his death by recanting the statement and then admitting again that he did it. And then he'd recant again. And he'd say, nope, wasn't me. Sorry. And the police would go interview him again.
The saddest part about all that too, and she says Otis, I say Otis because I do, is that in 2008, wait, am I jumping? Can I say this now?
Yeah. Okay. Totally.
Is that in 2008, I believe it was the chief of police came out in Hollywood, obviously a new chief of police, I think it was Wagner, basically came out at the end of 2008 and said in terms of this investigation, he was saying there was never enough evidence against Toole to charge him before Toole died. And there's no new evidence against him that Ellie has that can name him as the killer as of 2018. But there was a vast amount of circumstantial evidence. So not only could they not officially charge him, but he yanked the Walshes back and forth with his confessions and recants and whatnot. But the damnedest thing is LA never would have been able to charge him anyway because they didn't have enough corroborating evidence, among other things. But it's one of the most unfortunate parts, I think, of the whole case.
Let me just read you this from this is from the case file. This is just a really interesting Otis Toole kind of background here. In 1983, career criminal Otis Toole, then an inmate at Rayford, Florida prison, confessed to Adam's murder and abduction and implicated serial killer Henry Lee Lucas in the crime. However, investigators, sorry for laughing, it's not really funny. Investigators soon discovered that Lucas couldn't have been involved because he was in jail. Well, it's not the wrong state. When Adam was kidnapped. Toole then admitted he had carried out a crime on his own, and police announced they had Adam's killer. Keystone Cops. Several months later, and actually it's 12 minutes after his initial admission, 12 minutes later, he recanted the story. Okay. So then he said he did it again. And then months later, he said he didn't. Recanted his confession. In years that followed, Toole repeatedly confessed to killing Adam Walsh and then took back his story. He died of cirrhosis of the liver and AIDS in 1996 in a Florida prison where he was on death row for a murder. Another murder. Not that one. Not the one here. Not Adam. Another one. He's considered a possible. Years later, serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, who was living in Florida. Pay attention. Living in Florida at the time. It's proven. At the time of Adam's abduction, was considered a possible suspect. Dahmer died in prison in 1994. In 2008, this is what LFT was talking about. The police department of Hollywood, Florida announced the case against Toole was strong enough to close the investigation into Adam's death. Now, please tell them what we don't. Something just hit me. Oh, please. When did he confess? The first time he confessed was October 83, Parker. That was the first confession.
And that was the first time also the police announced that they had solved it. Mm-hmm. They didn't close it, but they said they announced in October of 83 that it was solved. And then they announced it again in 2008.
Yes, you should watch it, Megan. Yes. So just really quick, they find a body part. I'm trying not to be too graphic here for some of our friends, but they find a body part. They found a child's head in a river, in a canal. I'm sorry, in a canal. On August 10th, 2 weeks after his abduction. Okay. Mm-hmm. And within 24 hours, they're like, yep, that's Adam. Now he was not. Wait, what? Wait. What am I waiting for? Pugsy, hi, love.
This is where it gets pretty interesting and where Tia and I both looked at each other and we were like, get the hell out of town.
That's not exactly what we said, but that's really close. They found his head. Parents offer a $100,000 reward leading to the arrest. On August 15th, they have an empty casket funeral for Adam. And on the 19th, the Adam Walsh Outreach Center is established. August 27th. Okay. I'm here for it, Parker. I'm here for it. I'm going to check my email in 1 second. Police on August 22nd, they scale back. They scale back to 3 detectives saying it can't go on forever. Okay. And then October 6th, John and Reve testified before Congress for the Missing Children Act passed 1 year later. Within a year of Adam's abduction, Megan is born. Now, Megan Walsh, and I'm going to check my email really quick before I go on.
Parker.
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 I love Parker.
Parker.
Okay. I don't have anything from her yet, but it's coming. I know it is because Parker, Positively Parker is just like us and deep dives. Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't miss it, but I don't see her email yet. Let me know when you send it. August 27th is your birthday. Oh. So Megan Walsh, and I'm actually just going to, Megan Walsh had her kids taken away. She's in the news right now. She had her kids taken away by her parents. They're currently fighting. Her kids are in the foster care system. And that's a whole nother story. I'm going to be honest with you. And as of right this minute, we're not covering Megan Walsh. God bless her. I hope she's okay. I hope her situation gets better. But there's a lot of people covering Megan Walsh right now. And she's on a lot of different channels. Okay. Thanks, Brittany. No biggie. No worries. I'm just not covering her story at the moment. Now, her story is important, and I don't want to discredit anything or anyone covering it. But right now, I just want to focus on Adam. I'm trying to skim really quick. On July 22nd, 1983, the Walshes sue Sears over Adam's disappearance. The movie comes out, by the way. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Adam. Have you seen the movie Adam? There's a part 2 to that. Go watch that. It's on YouTube. Actually, it's on Netflix. Hold up. Please confirm for me John is taking his daughter's kids. Hold up. Please confirm that John took
They're the reason. I believe that John and Reve are the reason her parents were taken out of her care.
100% they were. And number 2, they are not in the care of the parents. They are in the care of the foster system. That should be noted. But I'll be honest with you. After that, I don't know Megan's story.
Hey,
other than, how she's involved with her brother, clearly. Police announced murder. Otis Elwood Toole has confessed to killing Adam. Toole used a machete to cut off blah, blah, blah. Toole said he and his homosexual lover, Henry Lee Lewis, had traveled through the country killing nearly 200 people, and who was 600 a little while ago. And he basically, they would go and they would do terrible things to people, confess to them, but they were also trying to outdo each other, which is really weird. Yeah, they sue Sears over the disappearance. Now, also, I wanted to let you know, and I'm probably going to have LFT cover this portion of it, but they did, when Otis was arrested for something unrelated, arson, they did bring him to Jacksonville, to Hollywood from Jacksonville, Florida, to help them find Adam's body. Now, when they did this, I do have the exact date, actually. October 21st. October 21st is the actual date, I believe, Parker. But I will confirm that with you with a police report, okay? What else? So they took this dude, Toole, down and around town, bought him Kentucky Fried Chicken, and he could not give definitive answers as to where the body of Adam was and what exactly happened. But the weird thing is there was blood found in his vehicle.
Okay, Foxy.
It wasn't necessarily Adam's blood because, that was never actually tested. Why would you do that? And one of the things that's really clear to me is the DA didn't feel like they had a solid case against anybody. You were working at Sears when that happened. You were told not to talk about the kidnapping. Different state, of course. That is where the code Adam came from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Glory. Yeah, I remember. And that used to make my stomach drop when I heard code Adam. To this day, the hair is standing up. So basically, that's a skim because, like I said, we're just skimming. But I'm going to let LFT take over because she's got some really good stuff too. And then, if you guys have questions, we're going to go through it. But I want you to know that if you guys saw us work on any other case, like Watts, I'll give you a Watts, for instance. Watts, where we picked apart the Watts case and we took interviews and broke them down, and we took timelines and broke them down, and we counted steps.
Literally.
That's how weird we are. We can measure feet. We can do that. We are going to do the same thing with Adam Walsh. We're going to break this bitch down to nothing. And the way that we went and approached Watts was, we didn't know who was guilty. Yes, we knew he confessed. Yes, we saw blah, blah, blah. But when we went into discovery and started reading and doing things, we did not know what happened, if you will. Oh, Foxy, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate that. We're approaching Adam Walsh the same way that we approached Summer Wells, Chris Watts, Gabby Petito, and Harry Milligan, which we are not done working on the Harry Milligan case. And I will talk about that at the end. But just know that Harry Milligan is in my heart, on my heart, and will always be until he is laid to rest. Brittany is also going to be covering this with Hooligan Jen, and we're going to be picking it apart, and we're going to give her stuff, and she's going to cover certain things, and we're going to do it here, we're going to do it over there. We're going to just be everywhere covering this Adam Walsh case because it's important, and you guys need to understand that what you see in front of you is not always the truth. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am not. I can't stress to you how much I need facts. I need all my senses to feel a case, right? Like I need to go through and read it, see it, and everything. This case has my head spinning.
Yeah.
This case has my head spinning. There was a moment in Watts, I'll never forget it as long as I live. And that is, one day we just looked at each other and we were like, he's guilty and we're done. We've wrung it out. We have gone through everything there is to go through. We put all of our, actually we didn't put a lot of our evidence out, but we have a lot.
I just remember tapping my pen on the table and like side-eyeing you on the computer and going, are we done? Like,
yeah, are we done?
So that's kind of how it goes.
I've never had that with any other case.
Mm-hmm.
I've never felt that one on any other case. And the reason that we actually started working on this was because we blame Brittany. Johnny Gosh, yeah. She's the one who brought it up, but Johnny Gosh is patient zero for me. He's the one that connects so many kidnapped children that were, I'm going to use the word transported and hope you guys get what I'm saying, throughout the country to do terrible things. They were kept in certain spots. And Adam, who may or may not be alive and may or may not have described the very same location as Johnny Gosh, Paul Bonacci,
several others.
I just keep that in mind, that we are not conspiracy theorists. We're coming to you with the evidence. We're coming to you. We're going to lay it all out there, and you guys can decide, are we full of it? But I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll cite our sources. I got no problem citing our sources. And I have no problem anybody else, researching this case. But I really want LFT to go in and say her part. Do your thing, girl. I'm gonna shut up over here.
My part is not all that, not too exciting. But Parker, hold on. But Parker, hold on to your seat. Kira, I don't even know what
she's here for it. She's committed.
Run around in circles and pretend like you're listening and leave it on and mod as needed. So Tia just said basically a generic timeline, and then the big thing was ending up when remains were found.
Mm-hmm.
on all. It was like, and it was like 6:45 in the evening on a Monday on August 10th. These two ranch hands were out at the canal fishing, and they saw something kind of floating, and they thought it was like a mannequin part. Needless to say, they called law enforcement, and they came down. And the ones, I think, the first people on that arrived, because the location from where he was at the Sears at the Hollywood Mall or Fashion Center or whatever the appropriate way is to call it, um, is it was 125 miles north of Hollywood. So where the remains were found, he was he'd gone north essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they get called in, and the Indian River Sheriff's Department and Highway Patrol, Florida State Highway Patrol, they all arrive, um, collect the remains, and it was just floating. There were no other remains around. According to reports, they did search, anticipating, that other remains would be found in the area. But that wasn't the case.
Oh,
Here's
can I interrupt you really quick because I think this is important too? Can you describe the remains?
I'm getting, yeah, that's what
Oh, okay. Sorry. I get so excited.
um I did so good when I talked this through with you earlier.
I
Hold
know.
on.
You're
I
still
know.
doing good.
Okay. So the remains that they found, obviously it's no secret, it was only the head. But they did look for other body parts, assuming that there was a potential it was they would potentially be around as well. Um, I know Parker, like there's been, I think Parker, we've talked about it, or even in Brett's, because there's a whole conversation about the state of the head that was found.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Because it was found in water, obviously, and this is 2 weeks later. Um, it was floating, and apparently actually pretty clean. I mean, I don't think it had any, Tara, cover your ears, um, like no tissue on it kind of deal. Like it was just a,
There was no aquatic
yeah, there's
damage.
no aquatic damage. Like it was pretty pristine, for lack of a better word. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. So, not only do they recover this piece of a body, a funeral home arrives. Not the medical examiner, mind you. A funeral home arrives to collect the remains. And then which I thought was like, the more I think about it, I was like, I don't, okay. Um, but especially in terms of investigation, you would think the medical examiner would arrive to take possession appropriately of whatever's found and proceed as needed. So the funeral home people arrive. They collect the head. And I'm not going to lie, from everything I've read, and y'all should see, I don't want to throw all the detectives and people's names out there, but everyone immediately was like, oh, this looks just like Adam. Get the hell out of town. Like, but they were all like, this is it. This is it. So they take the funeral home people take the head to the Indian River Memorial Hospital, which is in Vero Beach, to the morgue there. And they call in an associate medical examiner to come in, who had been advised earlier in the evening that he may be getting a call. So around 2:40 in the morning, this associate medical, Dr. Cox, begins his exam. Um, he it takes approximately, I believe it was said, it took him approximately 8 minutes to conclude that the head had been intentionally severed by a blade, potentially something like a meat cleaver. Not only that, there was no facial mutilation, but he did note approximately, I believe it was 5
Hmm.
cutting and chopping wounds that stretched from the back of the neck almost to the corners of the edge of each, the side of your mouth on each side. So that was pretty much all he saw initially. Um, as well as he did. Sorry, y'all, I'm looking at my notes.
I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second because I just wanted to say to Parker, I got your email and we are actually looking into that as well. And we do have some evidence on that as well. And I will speak to you behind the scenes on that because we may be able to give you some stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
And just to give you a little hint, LFT, she's talking about the same inconsistencies where she's going a little bit deeper into it with dental.
Yeah. Okay. So
I don't want to take that away from her though.
Oh no. Oh wait. So can I talk about the dental stuff or?
Yeah.
Like,
but I just want to make sure that we graze it and she covers it.
Okay. I'm just going to write down. I have no idea what you sent, so I'm just going off of what I wrote down, and so you can kick my ace afterwards if I give any information that you already have, or that don't know that I'm not supposed to say. So basically, Dr. Cox also immediately noted, upon looking at it, he noted a dental filling on the the lower left molar, on the left side. Yeah, the last molar on the lower left side. He noticed a filling there, as well as an emerging upper right incisor.
What? I'm sorry, a what?
An emerging, like growing in. Upper right incisor.
What size? I mean, what side?
The
right side? Okay. There's a picture.
Upper right incisor.
Incisor. Yeah.
Incisor. Upper right incisor. And so we noted that. In the meantime, as this is happening, they have quietly connected with at least John Walsh, because at this point they're in New York getting ready to do Good Morning America. So I think they essentially kind of told John they have a feeling it's him, but aren't, have not confirmed. So their good friend, John Monahan, goes and gets Adam's dental records from the dentist, and he ends up taking them to the morgue at Vero Beach to compare. Not only did he take the records there to compare Adam's dental records to the remains that were found, but he is the individual who made the visual ID of the head. And he wasn't 100% sure at first, but he said, yes, it did resemble Adam. So he's the eyes on the person, like the person who made an actual ID on behalf of the family. Here's where, oh God, y'all. So that's what the bulk, how they ID'd this as Adam is by these dental records, essentially. That's it. At that time, like that's all they had. And this is where it got screwy, because those dental records and medical records from the ME's report are gone. Not only are they gone from the medical examiner's report, 3 other law enforcement agencies that were handling this case don't have them either. Like, that's all evaporated. Don't know where it is. The thing about Adams, just no secret based on the picture of him, he's got 2 missing front teeth, and where the tooth was on the remains that were found, a prominent one on the front, doesn't exactly line up with Adam. So that's questionable. And so as years go on and they keep looking at this, people were saying, like, basically going, what the hell? And I think the conclusion that should be made at this point, looking, playing Monday morning quarterback, is at that time they had enough for a presumptive ID, but not a positive ID. But they ran with it because that was all they had. If you go through the reports now, the things that should be included in your typical autopsy in any kind of record, especially in an investigation of a potential murder case of a child, an abduction and murder of a child, their extensive reports. There is no official file that has Adam's dental or medical records. There was no forensic dental consultation report. Here's the thing, in 81, there were at least 8 dental forensic specialists in the area. None of them were called in to consult, and none of them until years and years later knew that there was even a potential issue in terms of IDing this head as Adam Walsh. They weren't aware, but they also weren't called in. So there's no official report on that. Even worse is there has to be an autopsy report, obviously. An autopsy was done, and I believe it states the name, the time, and who did it. But the autopsy itself lacks the signed narrative report explaining everything. So
I know, you guys, isn't it?
So basically, and that's what like Tia was saying at the beginning, like these people there's never been anyone officially charged, and this is part of the problem with it, is even if you were going to bring charges to this day against it, or even like say in 83 or 93 or 96, if they had wished to bring charges officially against someone, they didn't have the appropriate files or evidence to take to trial, had there even been a trial.
And the other thing is never. You know why? Because they don't, Rive does not want to know exactly how her son was tortured. And I don't blame her. I do not blame her. And that was something in the Sears trial that was a problem. There was also rumored, and I always want to say allegedly rumored, drug use by some in the family, where we don't have proof of that, so I don't like to that's allegedly a rumor. So I don't really.
There's that too, and then so you have to understand too, where the remains were found were not in the same. It's a different jurisdiction, like different county, and so I mean they immediately notified the Hollywood law enforcement or Hollywood police and detectives, and I think a sergeant, immediately got out there, and then those sergeants, when the Hollywood law enforcement members arrived on scene and spoke with the Indian River, I believe it was like a sheriff in the State Highway Patrol, they all immediately kind of concluded this is Adam. Like even just speaking, I mean, this is in the reports. They basically said when they got to the morgue and things were being done that it's close enough. Like, what are the chances that this is anybody else? It's basically, I believe, was kind of the attitude at the time. Like, who else would this be? This has to be Adam. I mean, I don't know if things were, mishandled necessarily in terms of evidence in multiple counties and all that stuff, but I can tell you that this gist of it was these members of law enforcement kind of just gathered and looked at this, and they were like, this is it. It has to be him. Just on like literally visualizing, like looking at it alone, which is great, but that's not enough.
It was the remains of a young boy. And Adam was a young boy. And they're like, okay, boom. However, there was another young boy missing who fit the description and dental records. Because one of the things that LFT found was that the filling in the back was the most common filling for children of that age.
Yeah. To have like a cavity and whatnot.
Have it filled, in that area. It's the most common filling. So you've just identified what, 1 million kids? Okay, great. The tooth that was growing in was another whole story. And that's a really graphic picture, which I'm I think we'll probably put that in our group or something like that. I don't know if we want to put that up publicly. That's
I mean, not until I feel like we should have.
what?
Maybe not. I feel like not tonight.
Oh
Like,
God, no.
yeah,
No. No, I
the
think
other
we'll
thing
do
I
that.
wanted to say a second ago, when y'all were talking about Reve and them like not wanting to know, and totally understandable, not wanting to know exactly potentially what your child was put through.
Mm-hmm.
But John Walsh also wrote a book about his experience with this and everything, and I believe it was like around 1996. Even then, he admitted he's never once looked at, like, never seen it, the head. I mean, I'm assuming by this point, y'all, he's seen a picture, but let's just, I mean, he wasn't obviously there to make a visual confirmation of the remains or anything like that. But he says he's never, he believes what he's been told essentially and is willing to go with that. What did we, and the thing we said earlier, and we'll go further into it later, but in terms of potential offenders who could have done this, we realized like what was it, 2007 or 2008 as well. ABC Primetime was doing some investigating, getting ready to do like the primetime news or whatever the show is. They had found some interesting new information that tied potentially Dahmer to Adam Walsh. Like, and they immediately reached out to the Walshes, to John himself, to, let him know and see, kind of give him, does he want anything, like what would he like them to do anything with it, et cetera, et cetera. He declined to speak about it. He essentially said politely, no, thank you. And he is satisfied that Toole did it. So people, even if you go to them now, I don't think they're going to be very open, whether for personal reasons or otherwise, of having anything change about this case.
I will tell you that Dahmer was absolutely interviewed about Adam Walsh. They did go to Milwaukee after his arrest, and they did interview him in depth. And Dahmer's story from childhood to that interview is so crazy. It's so crazy. And what you think Jesus, Mary, Joseph, God bless everybody. Like, ugh.
And he was in the area. He too was in the area when this happened. He was in Florida.
He was in Florida. He was in
and
the
he
area.
was actually closer than Toole was.
He was closer than Toole. His vehicle was also seen at the mall that day. Okay, I will show you this because I think this is interesting to me. Okay, I'm going to show you the before we go, I'm going to show you the sketch of, whoops, or maybe I'm not, because sharing the screen is not exactly my forte. But I'm going to show you the sketch of the description of the person who they wanted, several people, not one person, several people. Share screen.
Hey, outside the box.
Can you guys see this? No, you can't because I didn't hit share yet. How about now? Can you see that now?
I can. Hold on. Well, I can see it, but it's not showing up. Oh, yeah, there it is. I know, right, Alex? Like, it is.
Does that look like Otis Toole to you? I'm just curious. Doesn't look like Otis Toole to me. Do you guys know what Otis Toole looks like?
Who was on the right? Is Toole is on, Dahmer is on the right.
Yeah, and the sketch. Now I'll show you. Let's look at Otis, shall we?
And the accounts of people who were witnesses, and even like some of the younger kids, one of them was even they did the like hypnotized them and stuff. It is just
Oh, yeah.
eerie what they remember
Okay.
and who people describe.
There's Otis Toole. Does that look like the sketch I just showed you? I'm just curious.
I mean, the forehead would be like the most prominent thing. That'd be like, you had a gigantic forehead. No, not knocking anyone else that that does, but like the first thing I look, I'm like, look at his forehead. Like it's the forehead wasn't that big on the sketch, was it?
No, I'm going to pull it up again. So there's Otis.
And there were I believe 2 or 3 different sketches done, but they were all fairly similar. I think a lot of the difference simply had to do with the mustache, if I remember correctly.
Now I'm trying to make sure this works right. Give me one second.
Hey, Jen Lou.
Hi, Jen Lou. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. So nice of you to come in.
Put the sketch.
Okay. So here's Dahmer again. So you guys saw Otis, and there's the sketch of Dahmer. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to convince myself. That's a fact, Jack. I'm not here to convince anyone else other than us 2 girls, and I'm taking you guys along for the ride. If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
What else you got?
I'm trying to think. Well, I was trying to describe about how we're going about this for like the next.
Can you do that while I run really quick? I'll be right back.
Oh, really? You want me to handle this? Okay, let's do this. I got it.
You're in charge.
Let's do this.
Okay, off you go.
And we can all go wild. No, as we've been looking into this, like we said, it was obviously we're doing the Harry Milligan case, and that's totally, obviously very different than Adam Walsh or Johnny Gosch. But a lovely other creator, Brittany, put this the Johnny Gosch bug into our ear, and we started diving more into that because that is also Iowa and Harry Milligan's Iowa. Again, 2 totally different ages, separate scenarios, everything. But it's the actions of the powers that be, law enforcement, some weird stuff just started to kind of overlap. And as we're sitting here, like diving more into the Johnny Gosch stuff, and then we started looking into the Adam Walsh stuff. And again, I don't mean to talk conspiracy, but there is some eerie similarities in how things played out, some of the details in the function of the whole system and what's been happening since then. I will say that the Walshes and the Gosches have been huge advocates and spokesmen for children, child abduction, tighter laws, all that. They've even written and participated at, legislative hearings on matters, and the families have presented testimonies and all the above. But
there wasn't, I'm sorry, there's no overlap with Harry as far as Adam Walsh.
Yeah, I just meant like, that's what I was trying to say, like the law enforcement, the actions, that's what kind of made us go like, huh. Like they are 2 totally separate things, but the actions of the powers that be.
Yes, the actions of Ellie, identical. Like words used to Noreen Gosch and words used to Vicky Milligan, who, by the way, knew each other. Coinkydink, after both their sons went missing, were identical. And it's I by no means do I think Harry and Johnny were the same circumstance. But I think they were handled exactly the same way.
and that's kind of that whole the handling of it, and some of the like things that make you go,
Yeah.
as you start to deep dive, or is what has connected us. So when I say conspiracy, I don't mean, like, again, they are not the same case. They are not similar in circumstances, about age, anything like that. The details of the individual cases themselves and the individuals involved, but the investigation, the follow up, the
Jen Lou asked a question. Do we think Dahmer is responsible for Adam?
I think it's
We're gonna present the evidence and let you decide. There's
yes.
evidence to suggest that he was involved, but is it a fact? No, I'm going to present evidence to you. I mean, you're a very intelligent woman, and you can decide for yourself if Dahmer was involved, or are we just cashing in on a name? I don't think it makes sense to cash in on that particular person. And John Walsh, I will tell you, is foursquare against mentioning, which is so weird to me. I'm sure God's dealing with him too. Christina, I agree. John Walsh will not discuss Jeffrey Dahmer, which is interesting to me. That's very interesting, because I would rule nobody. If it were my son, I'd be looking high and low.
They haven't been able, they haven't solved the Milligan case for very different reasons. But in terms of two younger boys, children, you have two unsolved cases. There's no definite confirmation, incredible confession that's been able to, tie this up in a bow and put it away. And that's typically not how you would think, especially back then when this is happening and they're taking it so seriously, because especially it's a child, this isn't running. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And there's a lot of attention on it too, mind you, like children disappearing. And granted,
this is a national case that they put a pretty bow on, and we're like, okay, yeah, this guy did it. And meanwhile, there are other people who were very likely to have been involved, and more likely that it is their cup of tea than Otis Toole's cup of tea, if you know what I'm saying. Some of these guys liked them young, and
is it just abducting to abduct, or is it abduction for another reason? Is there something bigger at play?
Now that's a really good question. That's a really good question, because that you're willing to enter. You know what, Jen? All I'm asking, and I ask this of everybody, including myself, and I have to remember this: take your blinders off and just open your mind. That's it. We could be dead wrong, and if we are, we're gonna go ahead and say, you know what? We were so full of it, we were dead wrong.
I think they're both, Toole and Dahmer are both dead. One died.
They are both dead. Yeah.
So I just don't.
I think having your son associated with a name like Jeffrey Dahmer is icky, horrible, knowing that. I don't know. His reputation precedes him. And one of the things he said was, if I killed Adam Walsh, I would tell you, because I don't want to live, and I don't want to live in prison. And, I want the death sentence. And yet, I don't know.
They're all wicked POSs.
Horrible. Yes. Does John think it's Toole publicly?
Yes.
Megan, publicly, yes. Publicly, John thinks it's Otis Toole. Yes.
Otis. I like Otis. I say Otis.
I've heard everyone say Otis, so I'm saying Otis. I'm sorry. No. I'm new at this.
I don't know.
But I mean, we're going to try and wrap it up here in our own little way. Before we do that, though, it's interesting. The thing about Dahmer is his type wasn't the same. Yeah. Yes, his type wasn't the same. Also, Dahmer owned his own father and his own family.
Mm-hmm.
Believe he had something to do
His
with Adam
poor
Walsh.
dad. His poor dad tried.
Yeah.
I think his
Yeah.
name was Lionel, and he just
Yeah.
he tried to do like get help or get it like I guess when he was younger and some things were happening, and then it was like, all right, get your shit together. You got to enlist, do something like, and he couldn't even like he put him on
Oh,
that
even
track
that was
and
a
still
horrible
couldn't.
him being
Yeah,
in the military. Ooh.
there's even more that ties to it there. I'm actually curious, what would people want to hear more about next? Like doing a comparison and really, okay, obviously the timeline is a given, and so we have to do that because we're anal and that's just how we work. But other than breaking down a more specific timeline, would people want to hear more right now about a comparison between Dahmer and Toole, or the actually, I think Parker is covering more of the medical stuff, so I don't want to. Is that right?
I'm not sure exactly, but I think that's a great question. Just tell me about it all. I think that's a great question. I would love to hear what you guys want to hear. And if you want to comment below and, um, I
And
would love to hear what you guys want to hear. And I would love to hear what you guys want us to deep dive on and present to you.
like
Because
right now, after everything you've heard, you're like, okay, crap. Wait, hold on. Tell me more about fill in the blank. What
Adam
would it
was
be?
his type, by the way. I'm gonna let you know that Adam was his type. Adam was definitely his type. And that's what a lot of people don't know about Mr. Dahmer is that you need to know where Dahmer was, where and when, and yes, more comparison of Dahmer and Toole. Okay, perfect. I love that, Jen Lou. We're on it. Boss lady. You want to boss us around like that? I like it. I'll present it.
I think it would be cool too if Parker or others are up for it too, because I don't know what that email was, but in terms of the medical stuff, after she does it, if there's something that we could kind of collab and present either
Deeper
together or
timeline and Dahmer versus Toole. I love that, you guys, that we're on that. That's exactly what we were thinking too, but we want to make sure that you guys are here for it. Bossy boots. Yeah. Give me my boss, Jen. I'll pay, you know what, Jen? I'll pay $11 billion to be my boss just because I love when you say that.
Look at this brave little weirdo. She's still in here. Look at her.
I know. I love
her.
Tira. First of all,
No.
Tira, the mere mention of kids and kidnapping, Tira's like, I'm out. She has been here modding this chat.
Hey, Lycan.
Wait a second. Are you kidding? Lycan, you're coming in here. You're rolling in here. Damn. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you rolling in.
He's
you guys,
coming in Lycan After Dark, too.
I know. I don't know if I have that channel. I think I have Lycan's channel ready to go. $11 billion.
I really was about to be like, hey, Alexa,
Lycan.
Bitchbot Lycan or Bitchbot welcome or.
Thanks for coming in, buddy.
My Alexa just went off. Hold on.
There you go. You guys, if you want to check out some really cool cartoons, I'm hoping he moves off some of the other stuff. Whoops, just my opinion. Sorry, sir. But he's got some hilarious stuff on his channel. So feel free, go check him out. I like the fact that he comes in and supports people. You had to sub to this channel. Well, thank you. I'd give you a wrench, but you scare me just a little, and I feel like you could run amok in my channel, and I wouldn't like that. It would terrify me.
I know. How much does anyone else wish that you could do like a GIF, however? Like I have moments where I'm like, damn it, YouTube, I don't want an emoji. I want
I want a GIF. I know.
I want a GIF.
Well, I think what we're gonna do is
thank you, Johnny.
I had closed down our Facebook group to be honest with you, because I was like, well, we're not really getting any action in there. We're not posting in there. But now that we're working on this, I think I'm going to open it back up and put our research back in there. Be it the timeline, some funky pictures, things that you guys really want to see, comparisons and things like that.
I'm glad I voted for us to keep it.
You did vote to keep it. I voted to get rid of it. But we're voting to keep it. But we'll put our findings back in there. Cool as a cucumber in a bowl of hot sauce. It's a truth.
I wish there was
yes.
a hula hoop emoji. Oh my God, I'm not muted. I was talking to myself.
No pictures. Okay. All right, Tiro. No pictures for you. We will.
You have to be 18 and older to join our Facebook group, Tira. Yeah. So you're not.
It's not safe for Tira. It's NSFW. Not safe for Tira. It's not safe for work. It's not safe for Tira. Anyway, we are gonna wrap this up, but I want to send you guys over to Brittany. Brittany, what time are you going live? Are you going to go live tonight and do an after party and have a little fun? We'd like to pop over there and just kind of celebrate that we went live again. It's been a while. We've had a lot going on. 10 minutes. Okay, good. Allegedly with Brittany.
Oh, wait.
She's going live in 10 minutes.
Exclamation point, Brittany.
Yeah.
Watch BitchBot work. Here we go.
And I will send our new mods a list of channels because we have it set up so Nightbot does all the work for you, which is great. You can and we drop channels like nobody's. I have zero problem dropping anybody's channel in here. Anybody's channel. You're welcome. Sorry you haven't been in chat this much. Oh, well, put your feet up, TCA, and relax. Does anybody have any questions really quick before we close it down? Anybody? Bueller?
Yeah, that's my line. Bueller.
Bueller. Thank you guys for being here for this very clustered presentation of the introduction of Adam Walsh.
Wait, I have one question. Did my mic or sound stay consistent this entire time?
Yes.
Get the hell out of
When is the next installment? I need a couple of days, I think. Oh, thanks, Christina. Thanks for coming by. You're going to head over to Brittany's and rewatch and see what I missed tomorrow morning. Okay, cool. Love it. We need a couple of days to put our timeline together and our serial killer versus serial killer together. But the stream lasted 3 minutes. Thanks for coming in at the end. They're liking. That's the way to do it, buddy. Get your channel drop. Now move on to the next. We really are so thrilled that you guys would come in and listen to us tonight. Listen to me ramble and her deliver great information. Go to Brittany, hang out over there.
Hey, wait, the Adam Walsh movie someone just asked. I haven't watched it and someone didn't tell me they were watching it and we weren't watching it together. That's a sad point. Hey, should someone watch the Adam Walsh movie?
It's interesting. It's a really bad 80s movie with Jo Beth Williams and Daniel J. Travanti, I think his name is. And it's a good representation of the situation. There's part 1 and part 2. But as far as an 80s movie, it's really bad. So, I mean, if you can just appreciate that, yeah, it's a Lifetime movie. If you can appreciate that. But yeah, I would definitely encourage you to watch it. It's a different perspective than probably what we're going to bring you. And again, like I said, we're going to cite our resources so that you can double check. How did we create drama with we've been doing it for a year, and welcome. Come sit over
here. Because we literally
have a beer.
Smack the crap out of one another if we attempt to bring
Yeah, that's not allowed. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, and you can come in here and you can put your feet up. You can talk to whoever you
Lycan
want
just
in here.
found his next project. He's like, okay, I'm gonna. Mm-mm. He's like, I'm gonna see what I can do. He's like, now it's a challenge. Do,
It's
do it.
this
Do
is
it.
why I was like, he's gonna run amok. This is
He cracked me
amazing.
up.
This is
I
amazing.
really do appreciate you even clicking it though to stop by.
I know it is. We
There's a
appreciate
million
everybody
choices
being
out there.
here.
Thank y'all for choosing to fly with us.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, yeah. And also, I just want to tell you that we have made an executive decision. We have taken no money on any case we've ever worked on. None. We can solidly say we are not monetized. I can play whatever music I want. I can say whatever I want. We're not monetized.
I don't.
But we've decided that it's really expensive to keep the lights on here at Decipher. We use a lot of different programs that cost a lot of money. I'm not going to lie. So, if you're so inclined and you like the information and you'd like to see more, we would greatly appreciate your support. Is it required? Nope. Never. Never required. Never ever required. Is it appreciated? More than you freaking know. Because it's getting expensive around these parts. You've had a hard time controlling the volume of your text. But everybody go over to Brittany's, drop a like, drop a dollar, and thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. And we will give you guys plenty of notice when we're going to do the timeline. And
the next one is offenders, right?
The what?
The offender, like
Yeah.
Dahmer, Toole. Okay.
Psycho versus psycho. Right? It's like the drama community. Psycho versus psycho.
Thank y'all so much for joining. We really
Did you
appreciate
guys,
it.
see, did you guys pay attention to that? I brought up drama and she was like, and we're stopping now. We're out.
Mm-hmm. I can't physically come through the screen yet, but one day I will. And
that's going to scare me.
And all
right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Go to Brittany's. Enjoy yourself. Have a great week. And we will see you pretty shortly. We'll see you this week sometime.
See y'all in 5 minutes.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.